Free-to-play might be the most successful illusion gaming has ever created, not because it hides the price, but because it hides who the real customer is. If you enjoy relaxed but deep investigations like this, feel free to subscribe. It really helps. Today, we're breaking down the entire free-to-play ecosystem, the psychology, the math, and why even the most generous games still run on the same blueprint. And by the end, you'll understand exactly why free-to-play is a myth. Free-to-play is a marketing euphemism. It doesn't describe the cost, it describes the timing. You don't pay up front, but you pay later. Or you pay with time, attention, frustration, social pressure, and eventually, your wallet. Free players aren't customers. They are content. They fill servers, populate guilds, and fuel the power fantasy of paying users. Basically, if you never spend, congratulations, you are an NPC in a whale's highlight montage. The first goal of every F2P game is simple: break your resistance to spending. That 99-cent starter pack, that's the icebreaker. It's not about profit, it's about identity. Once you buy it, your brain moves the game into the things I spend on category, and the friction is gone. Next comes the habit phase. The game attaches itself to your daily routine. Daily logins, energy timers, weekly quests, timed events. These systems rely on loss aversion. Missing out feels worse than gaining ever feels good. And finally, the game becomes part of your identity. Your characters, your builds, your team comps, your weapons. Quitting feels like wasting years of progress. That's the sunk cost fallacy. To really understand F2P psychology, we need to talk about Bartle's player types. There are 4. Achievers want progress, efficiency, completion. Games monetize them using XP boosters, battle passes, and pay-to-skip timers. This is why grinding feels slow. The friction is the product. Explorers want lore, world building, characters. Games monetize them using gacha characters, story-locked units, map unlocks. They gate story behind RNG because curiosity is a wallet trigger. Socializers want expression and identity. Games monetize them using skins, emotes, cosmetics. You're not buying a skin, you're buying social acceptance. Killers want domination and power. Games monetize them using damage boosts, power upgrades. These are your whales. They spend for supremacy. With these 4 groups, the entire player base becomes monetizable in different ways. A perfect psychological grid. To understand how free-to-play really works, we need to look at the math, because behind every flashy animation and satisfying pull, there's a probability curve quietly shaping your behavior. In Genshin, the stated odds for getting a 5-star character are 0.6%. That alone sounds discouraging, but the real trick isn't the low number. It's how that number changes over time. Most players assume each pull is identical, one roll, one chance. But the actual system is far more calculated. The first 70 or so pulls barely move the needle. You're stuck at the base rate. But once you hit the mid-70s, something dramatic happens. The odds suddenly spike. And with every pull after that, the chance rises higher and higher until the game guarantees a hit. This is the probability cliff. It's designed to feel like you're getting closer to a reward, because mathematically, you are. Here's why that matters. A player sitting at 60 pulls feels like they can stop.
But a player at 72, their brain says, "You're right there. You can't quit now." This isn't just a gotcha system, it's a psychological funnel. And even when you climb that entire cliff, the game isn't done. Because Genshin's 50-50 mechanic adds what behavioral economists call controlled disappointment. You reach pity, the 5-star glow appears, you feel relief, hope, maybe excitement, and then the result flips. You didn't get the character you wanted. That disappointment isn't accidental. It's designed to work with the sunk cost you've already invested. Once you lose the 50-50, the game tells you the next one will be the featured character. So now you're pulling for excitement, not for excitement. You're pulling to correct the loss. This is the brilliance of the system. It combines mathematics with emotion. Wuthering Waves takes a slightly different path. Its base odds are higher. Soft pity begins earlier, and the weapon banner, surprisingly, is guaranteed, which looks extremely friendly on paper. But generosity here is a strategy. New games need fast dopamine to win players over. They use better numbers not because they're saints, but because they're competing for attention. And the core principle remains the same. You're nudged towards the edge of pity. You're pushed to pull again because you feel close. And even though Wuthering Waves is more generous, the long-term system hasn't changed. It's like a bakery giving you a free cookie. You still walk out buying a box. And here's the ultimate thrill. Most F2P players earn half the resources needed to guarantee a 5-star every patch. That means the deprivation is engineered. The system is built so that you almost get what you want, but not quite. This gap, the gap between what you earn and what you need, is the real product being sold. And here's the hidden twist most players never realize. This is the real gotcha, hidden under everything. It doesn't matter whether a game calls its system generous, fair, rewarding, or player-friendly. The design always leads you to the same emotional destination, being just one step short. One step short of pity. One step short of a constellation. One step short of a weapon. One step short of a skin. One step short of satisfaction. And that's the final keystone of free-to-play. It's not designed to make you feel rewarded. It's designed to make you feel almost rewarded. That almost is the most profitable word in the entire industry. Let's shift from probability to design, because the user interface in free-to-play games is never neutral. In many cases, the UI is actively working against you. Timers that block your progress. Resources that refill when you're offline. Rewards that expire if you don't log in. Buttons that glow only when the shop resets. Menus that place paid options front and center. These elements aren't design choices. They're psychological levers. Many games intentionally slow you down. Crafting queues, stamina bars, and multi-day waits aren't gameplay. They're inconvenience. And convenience becomes the product. You're not paying for power. You're paying to remove the frustration the game put there on purpose. Another powerful dark pattern is currency splitting. You never buy an item directly. You buy gems. Those gems become tokens. Those tokens become tickets. Those tickets become wishes. It's a money maze designed so you lose track of real-world value. It's the gaming equivalent of paying someone in Monopoly dollars. And then the game adds uneven bundles, giving you 980 gems when the item costs 1,000, ensuring you always need just a bit more.